Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Abhishek and this is going to be the second video of mine on YouTube, and this is basically the continuation of the very first video that I had made. So in case you guys want to watch that video, very first one, you can just go through that. The link of the same is available in the description below, so just go with that, right? So since it's the continuation of the very first video, so I will be continuing and I'm telling you guys how did I started speaking English. So let's begin. So there are a couple of 4 or 5 techniques that I will be telling you guys in this video, and that is really something that I had went through. So just wait and watch and just go with all those techniques in order to be good at English by your side, right? So the very first technique is talk to yourself. Believe me, you may think I'm like like I'm insanely stupidly like saying this thing, but the reality is you have to talk to yourself. Literally, this is something that I went through myself, right? So just talk to yourself. This is the very first thing that I can tell you. So like in my case, how did I actually like talk to myself was literally very embarrassing stuff. So what I did was I didn't told anyone that I'm doing that stuff, and I just went in my room and I just started talking to myself, like and at that time, and this is how I like initially I started, right? So what you can actually do is actually I absolutely know, actually there is a thing called Hinglish, not English. I'm not saying English, I'm saying Hinglish, Hinglish. Hinglish. So Hinglish is basically the combination of Hindi and English, and that is something that I even possess. So what happens is, whenever you will start speaking English, what will happen initially, that will be your thoughts will be a combination of both Hindi as well as English, right? So what you need to do is you need to lower down the level of Hindi, and slowly you have to increase the level of English in your conversation, right? So you have to do this thing, right? So initially when you are able to do that thing, you will definitely will able to like kind of you will able to speak in English, right? So that's the first technique that I will that's the first technique that I went through. So I'm telling you that's the first technique. And now the second technique is you need to like really understand one thing, that if you are surrounded with people who are really good at English, what happens is you automatically start speaking English. And I'm not kidding, literally this is the thing that really happens with everybody. At least in my case it actually happened, right? And like in my case, as I already talked to you about this in my earlier videos, the very first one video, that that there was a boy in my like school. He was really good at English, so I just I just tried my best to talk to him. I used to approach him to talk about like if I had any doubts, right? I just literally went to him and I just talked to him, and that was the thing because of which I was able to like kind of started speaking English, right? That was the something that I adore him as well, right? Now the third thing that I would suggest you is you need to like third technique would be third technique is basically the example that I would like to give you, right? Third technique is like learning any other like any other sort of skill. For example, in my case, I learned driving car by like doing a lot of mistakes, right? So first thing that I did was, while driving car was like there are a couple of things which is called ABC in driving. A stands for accelerator, B stands for brake, C stands for clutch, right? So you need to understand when you need to put a pause while driving. Similarly, in English, speaking English as well, you need to understand when you need to give a pause, when you need to accelerate your speaking, when you need to like take to a different route. So that is something that you need to even learn, right? For example, let's say if you're going somewhere and if you want to speak to the people, right, to the crowd, then you need to understand like at which level, at which fluency, at which like vocabulary, at what level of vocabulary, whether it be advanced or intermediate or like really easy ones, you need to deliver to the audience and that is a subject to the type of audience that you're targeting, right? So that is something that I like that I would advise, right? Third thing, like that was the third thing, that was the example. And fourth would be like don't, and be shameless. Literally I'm telling you, be shameless. Don't really worry about like thinking like don't really think that you like you need to impress at the very first spot, and you need to really be really good at English in terms of like making people getting, I mean, like I just don't want you guys to let other people think in a way that they want to adore you, right? So don't really think that way. Be shameless and just like speak in English, right? I know that initially it will be really very hard for you guys to actually speak in English, because what will happen, you will find that you will think that what others will think about you. So I just want you to not to go with that way, right? instead of going with that way, what you can actually do is, in my case what I did was I used to call to like call centers, right? I literally, this is what I actually did, and I tried my best to speak in English. And like I would like to give you an example as well. Like what I did was, like one fine day I called a customer center guy, and I just went with the English section. You would have gone with that as well, I guess, right? So once you will go with that thing, you will actually, you have to now talk to in English. So once I like I was really very poor at that time, I was really very poor at English at that time. It was like 6-7 years ago, right? So what so that customer center guy told me that कि क्या मैं तुम्हारी कॉल को प्लीज हिंदी में ट्रांसफर कर दूं, ऐसा उन्होंने कहा, राइट? सो दैट इज समथिंग दैट like that happened with me. So that's the thing that actually want to tell you, like just be shameless while learning English. If people are making fun of you, that's not your flaw, that's the flaw of that particular person's character, right? So don't really care about what people think about you or what they say, just do your thing, right? So that is something like that. These were the 4 techniques that I told. So I just want you guys to literally go with those things, because that was something that I even went through. And like you can see, like I will not say that I'm really good at English, but I will at least say that I'm more than average. I'm not really outstanding or excellent, but at least I'm more than like average, like you would have seen so far now, right? So yeah, so that is everything. So this just now I would like to wind up with those 4 techniques. Like the very first one is to mention, talk to yourself. Second one is find neighbors or friends where you will find those guys are actually talking in English. Third one is the example that's like learning English is similar to learning any other skill, right? So, and the fourth one is like be shameless. So these are the 4 things that I had just told. So just go with those, and you will definitely be able to find yourself that you are now kind of able to speak in English, right? Not all the way, all of a sudden, that's not really possible, right? You guys won't be, right? So initially start with something, and remember one thing, every small step counts, right? So thank you so much. So that's all in this video. Thank you so much. Have a good day, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye.